Hey everyone, this is gonna Stoffer. Well, as you might have known, yesterday was my birthday. I'm I'm officially 21 now, and last night, me, my friend Parker, and my mother went went to went to the Golden West. It's a bar slash restaurant slash casino, and yeah, when I was over there, I drank my first beer, which is fucking nasty. Uh, I had, I had I had a really good burger with Swiss cheese and mushrooms, and I also played on the slots. It was alright. It wasn't it, wa- it wasn't coke and hookers, but yeah, it was alright. And now here I am, possibly buzzed, possibly hungover, smelling like a bar, and $5 missing. And I'm pretty much gonna be passing the time by reading yet another one of Ta's waifu fics. This time it's Twilight's second slumber party. Um, anyways, let's get this over with. I'm gonna make this louder now. Alright, a slumber party for two. That's what the chapter's called. I don't know why, but whatever. It's been a long day. You can't wait to get home and relax. Maybe have a cup of what passes for tea around these places. Once you described the taste, Zakora knew something similar. Not exact, but similar. I put your feet up with the book on equestrian history you got out of Twilight's library. Alas, you open the door, preparing to duck a little to get out, and you're greeted with an intense chill and heavy rains. You used to human weather reports, so you haven't yet got into the habit of checking the schedules. But you're certain they'd be telling you that today was scheduled for an intense downpour, for some reason. You could ask Dash. You can ask Dash why later. But if there's anything she can do that's not flying and sleeping, it's talk about weather theory, and you have better things to do. Of course, there's nothing resembling an umbrella nearby, so you resign yourself to getting soaked to the bone and prepare yourself for the first step of many through the thundery precipitation. Wait! You hear you hear two familiar voices echo down the hallway. It's Twilight and Aloe. You didn't you didn't know Twilight was into solo spa sessions, but apparently there she is. Your brain is being the selfish and insidious thing it is. You wonder if Twilight has any spells for the occasion, so you wait for her. When she comes out to the hallway, Aloe is nowhere to be seen, probably closing up for the night. She seems surprised to find you still here, but accepts the answer of simply pointing outside when she asks why. Obviously figuring out your intentions, she smiles at you and tells you to get closer to her as her horn starts to glow. And she conjures up a large bubble. The raindrops evaporated into steam the moment they touch it. She does indeed have a spell for this occasion. As as the two of you walk through town, you open your mouth to ask if she'd be so kind as to help you to your house, before she unknowingly cuts you off. Hey, why don't you sleep over? It's been ages since my last one, and with Spike gone for the week, I'm feeling pretty lonely. She, she says, the enthusiasm in her voice almost visible. You'd rather go home, but it'd be too awkward to turn her down now. So you don't, feigning enthusiasm as you agree. At least At least it's Twilight. She'll probably want to spend the night reading by the fire, a concept you could certainly get behind. You continue your walk, the size of the sphere forcing you to brush against Twilight, feeling her warm, fuzzy body on the back of your hand. You can almost swear she was leaning closer to you, but you're not sure ponies are actually capable of that, so you drop the idea. Instead, listening to the unique audio of walking through the middle of a rainstorm with a constant hiss of the view above you is obscured by steam. Like the two of you are a really slow moving train. She's enjoying the sound of view too. Looking around her and occasionally up at you. Her mane brushes against you as she turns. When you eventually get to her treehouse, she opens the door with a flick of her horn, extends the sphere to the door, and beckons for you to enter. Before following, closing the door behind her, you slip off your shoes, Twilight's bubble shield not quite able to dry the ground beneath your feet, though you're sure she could if she tried, and watch Twilight as she heads over to a specific bookshelf and pulls out a book. Excellent. Your assumptions are right. She wants to spend the night reading quietly. Slumber 101. All you've ever wanted to know but you were afraid to ask. She exclaims excitedly. My own personal copy. It worked great last time. We'll have a blast. You feel your laid-back plans fall out of the window as she flips through the extensive contents pages looking for a good starting point. Makeovers, she announces. We have to. It's the first point of the checklist. I mean, you don't have to follow all of this by order. You can just do it randomly as you want. But you know, Twilight being Twilight. While you certainly can't argue with her logic, makeovers aren't really your thing. So you tell her. Her ears fall and her face looks down as she sighs an O. If you didn't know better, you'd think her sadness was magically enhanced, as you find yourself unable to stop yourself from appending. But maybe just this once. To your sentence. Her ears shoot back up, as do her forehoofs, as she starts clapping them together. You narrowly avoid a hastily flung ball of mud. I'm sorry. Much as you agreed to this, that doesn't mean you want that. You ask her if perhaps you could sit down and just help her. She reluctantly agrees, covering her face in mud and flinging a hairbrush at you from across the room, guiding it into your hand. You get the idea and kneel down next to her, running your hand over her mane. It's almost perfect, straight, clean, silky, and smooth. Of course it is. She's just been to the spa. Hey, Twilight, why are you having a makeover if you've just been to the spa? You ask, cocking your head though. She can't see you under the layer of mud and cucumber. She looks almost, but not exactly, at the completely wrong direction and states that it's first on the list. You stutter for a moment before deciding to just accept it. It's Twilight being Twilight. Yeah, of course. Just giving in, you start to run the brush down her luscious mane, watching the light reflect off it as it deforms and reshapes as you pull your brush through. Stroking it with your hand, it feels almost like silk as your fingers glide effortlessly over the imperfection of surface. The end of her mane cutting off into her distinctive style, probably held in place with magic or something. You think as as you run your fingers over the corners. Glad she can't see you obsessing over through her veil of green and brown. You wonder if her tail is as well kept, but daren't feel, because she'd surely catch that. You notice her bringing up a small cloth to wipe away the mud and pull your hands back over her mane, placing the brush on the floor. After cleaning up, she grins at you and jumps to her feet, dashing over to the book and check the next step, though she almost certainly already knows what it is. Ghost stories. Her voice booms, appearing to come from everywhere at once. I've waited ages to try this spell out, she said as she jumps over to the candles, giving you light and blows them out. Ghost stories don't scare you, right? You keep telling yourself that as Twilight conjures up smoky images and ghastly apparitions that go with her otherworldly narration. Her tired tale of the headless horse coming to life, specters and spirits jumping out at you, breaking down your conceptions of it's just a story until you're jumping at shadows. And right behind them was... Twilight whispers as she flicks on the light and stands in a comically bad costume. The headless horse! You jump and grab onto the nearest thing and hold it close, only noticing after a few seconds it was hugging back. Twilight teleported behind you when you were distracted. She feels warm and safe, especially after her tale of woe and terror. Laughing sheepishly, she comments that perhaps her fear spells were a little too effective, and maybe you could just skip ahead to something a little more laid back. S'mores. Lighting the fire, she goes to grab all the ingredients while you recover, reminding yourself to bring this up whenever Twilight tries to use magic on you ever again. A few moments later, she returns, handing you a marshmallow and a short wooden stick to roast by the fire. Still a little shaken, you take a moment before you start moving. She sees this as hesitation and quickly insists she help. Walking up beside you, she leans close and guides your hand with her hoof. Holding it steady over the fire, watching it begin to crisp, she rests her head on your shoulder and guides your hand away from the fire, pulling the marshmallow out and building a s'more in front of your eyes, before hovering it in front of you and telling you to take a bite. Leaning forward, you close your lips around it and bite down. It's good. The taste of chocolate melting in with the still near scalding hot marshmallow to produce something incredibly sweet. You give her a groan of approval, and Twilight takes a bite herself, licking her lips to clean up the mess afterwards. While she helps you make another one, your body kept warm partially by the roaring fire in front of you, but also by the adorable pony lying into you. She looks away and starts to mumble a proper apology for what she did to you before. She'd always loved it when people were scared by her stories, but you'd always been more resilient to them, and she just wanted to scare you a little, maybe make you jump, nothing more. You could see the tears started to form in her eyes, and you couldn't bear the thought of that ruining your night. So you do the first thing you think of. You lean your head onto hers, while lifting your free arm to cup it and turn her towards you, looking into her eyes, pleading for forgiveness. She finds it. It seems to make her happier, but she doesn't stop staring. She starts to move forward slowly, half closing her eyes and tilting her head to the side. As you reciprocate, unsure of where this will lead, but not entirely sure you don't want it. Her lips brush against yours, and ow! You suddenly brought back to reality by a strong burning sensation as the fire that's been burning down the wooden stick for quite some time now finally reaches your fingers, completely spoiling the mood. Certainly the s'more is ruined. Awkwardly getting getting up and going over to the book, checking off s'mores. She reads out the next item. How she can just go back to following the list after coming so close to something you don't quite understand. You don't know, but she has. Pillow fights. Oh, these are so fun. She laughs, clapping her hooves once again. You're not sure it's fair. You're much bigger than she is. You can throw much harder. You even get halfway to telling her this before a pillow hits you in the chest and sends you tumbling over onto your ass. Picking it up, you fling it back at her, but watching dismay as it stops a few inches in front of her, covered in a red glow. She's not playing fair. Throwing two pillows at once this time, she knocks you over, and breaks your fall. You're not going to let a little purple nerd beat you up. Nerd. So you try throwing both pillows at once, trying to overwhelm her. It doesn't work. Now you have two pillows breaking your fall, and one landing on your head. Rethinking your strategy, you throw the pillows at her, and then take a running dive while she can't see you. As your head breaks through the pillow barrier, you feel a strange warmness overtake your body as you stop in midair. Hovering there, unable to move your arms and legs, laughing at your predicament, Twilight sits down a bed of pillows and unceremoniously drops you, pinning you down with another few pillows. Leaning down, she looks you in the eyes, secure in her victory. You may have all four limbs pinned down, but you refuse to lose. Remembering how close you came earlier and how awkward she was afterwards, you wait until she was close enough, until she opens her mouth to brag, and push your neck forward to meet her lips with yours. Feeling the pressure on your limbs vanish, you quickly push forward, sending Twilight head over hooves onto her back, where you pin her down. Acting quickly to prevent her from taking control again, you start to pepper her lower body with kisses, working your way up slowly, her horns spluttering as she fails to control it, and her breath growing heavier as her resistance falters. You pull yourself further up, kissing her neck and burying your face into her gorgeous mane until your faces meet. She's smiling at you, but you can tell you're going too fast. You push one arm under her and wrap the other over her. And hold her close. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want you. You assure her. In response, she magics over the book. Oh, Twilight. Next step, sleeping, or laying in bed not being asleep. She manages to say without even a hint of euphemism. You begin to take your arms off her, but she quickly stops you, telling you to let her take this one. You're not sure what she means until her horn lights up and you feel the both of you lift up, becoming completely weightless as she guides you to the bedroom. You holding her tighter in the hope she won't drop you, and watching her concentrating eyes as she pushes you through the library. Extinguishing the fire with a thought and turning down the lights as she goes. Arriving at her bed, she smoothly sets the two of you down and pulls the covers over. You could get used to that kind of treatment. Much as the book said there was to be no sleeping, you both admit you're very tired and would like little more than a good rest. So she completely kills the lights and plunges the both of you into pitch darkness. Lying there, unable to even see her face, though it's barely more than an inch away, you feel her legs wrap around your body. The front set just under your arms, the bottom set around your waist, and her tail wraps around your legs a few times, feeling just as silky as you imagined. Feeling her breath upon your face, you sense her body moving as she guesses where you are, and moves her head forward to rise against your neck. Her mane flowing down onto your chest. Her comfortable squirming feeling clear through your body. Perhaps ironic that a night so cold when you couldn't take the walk home has led you to feeling the warmest you've ever had in a very long time. You decide to stop thinking and just lose yourself in being near her, drifting off to sleep in a world composed only of what you can feel on your body and the light smell of lavender as you breathe in her mane. Come morning, Twilight's turning off of the lights has lost its effect, as Celestia conspires to steal from your glorious dream, where you and Twilight finally give in to your desires. They do say that you dream about things that are in your mind, after all, and the lightly sleeping pony in front of you is certainly worth thinking about. Her head is the only thing sticking above the covers, but it's still a sight to behold. Her horn tapering out to a point, causing a parting in her hair. Her eyelids being so very large on her head, hiding those beautiful eyes from you. Her mane now split between something, and her mane now splits between some hiding away from you under the covers and some spread out where you can see it, lying unshaped and unkempt over the bed. Her nose sticking out of her face and her lips just below it. Her breath exciting from both as she lightly slumbers beside you. Lifting up an arm to raise the duvet, you take your admiration of her body further down. As you run your eyes over the area where her body and legs diverge, her muscle structure is clear and defined, and her hooves round and hard. Funnily enough, her hooves aren't your major point of interest. As your eyes trace down her torso, round her ample behind, and can only imagine what lies on the other side. The angle hiding it from you, she may not be human, but she has a lot of the same traits you like in them. You like them. Her body is in incredible good shape for her little physical work she does, and her mind is as sharp as anyone you've ever known. She's told you more about equestrian history than any of the books you borrowed from her, but you always needed a good excuse to come back for more. Maybe you won't need one anymore. Her tail is still wrapped around your legs, the stripe running through it, stretching out as she tried to cover as much of you as she could. Now, my dear reader, I have a question for you. When you look at Twilight Sparkle lying silently in front of you, her chest rising and falling as she breathes, are you overcome with the desire to A. Hug the fuck out of her, go to the marked hugging section, B. Fuck the hug out of her, carry on immediately below in the adult section, and continue on into the hugging unless the only thing in your body that throbs is your penis. C. Rape her. Leave this window and never return. Wait. Or in the words of Son of the North, option D, she rapes you. Okay, now where am I? Should I make you suffer the long torment of me reading the adult section later, or should I just read it right now? You've waited long enough. The adult fun section. The chilled morning air that rushed into the hole you opened to admire the mare laying so close to you also had an unintended effect of waking her up. You find it difficult to do anything but stare into her eyes and smile, and for a long while she does the same before whispering hi. You do the same and kiss her on the nose. She giggles and her tail involuntarily swishes back and forth, pulling itself from under you. So, she said, where were we? You grin, move your head to your ear and whisper, right here, into it before moving just a little further to give it a light nibble, prompting an enthusiastic ooh from the pretty purple pony. Putting your hands to work, you lightly grasp around her flank and start to rub your fingers against her, as you slowly run your lips down the side of her ear, moving closer and closer to your horn. You hear her grasp as you finally reach the base, planting a light kiss at the point where your soft skin intersects the horn. You like the sound of her, so you go back for more, starting to brush your lips against the edge of her length as it gently pulses with magical energy. The phallic overtones aren't lost to you, but if you can be confident in your sexuality while actually making out with a woman, albeit a pony, then when can you be? Safe in the knowledge of your heterosexuality, you reach the tip of your horn and start to lick at the tip, before wrapping it around your lips and plunging down, lubricating itself the entire length before your gag reflex kick in. Doesn't anyone find this a little ironic? Twilight moans softly and tries to throw her head back, rather uncomfortable for you with her horn poking down your throat. But you get the idea she's not quite aware of her surroundings anymore, and that feeling only increases as you pull up, feeling the ridges in her horn pass through your lips as your tongue wraps around her thick poll, slowly moving its way around as you rinse. Her moaning only increases in volume. The glow around her horn strengthened and weakening with her voice, as if her horn is a direct line to her mind, and you're blowing it, literally. Still assuring yourself that you're as straight as her horn, you wrap one hand around it and begin to pump up and down, prompting an immediate rise in her voice, and her aura, now almost at the same strength she has in regular magic. You can feel it against your hand, warming it up and filling you with energy. You only wonder what that would feel like against your tongue for a moment, before diving forward, plunging her long tool down your throat as your tongue all down her length. Each quick messy swipe making your mouth even hotter. Your tongue's starting to feel like burning sensation if you keep on touching her too long. And her voice now a constant loud moan, interrupted only by her gasp for breath and her body twitches beneath your touch. Feeling her begin to tense up beneath you as her aura becoming uncomfortably hot, you quickly push down, taking her entire horn into your mouth as she flings open her eyes. No longer beautiful and as deep as the largest ocean, but instead of pure white, without an iris or pupil to be seen. As both of you and her rise up into the air together, the glow from her horn clearly visible through your cheeks. And then she came. You pull yourself back together a few seconds later on the other side of the room, your mouth tasting like copper and your hair standing on end. As you see her hovering in the air, her limbs outstretched and her entire body surrounded by a red glow. Damn, this is like something out of The Exorcist. Just as suddenly as it came, it went, and she drops to the floor, breathing heavily with a smile on her face and her eyes closed shut. Struggling to your knees, you crawl over to her, collapsing by her side and running your hand through her mane. The two of you lie there for several minutes, her able to her unable to move because of what you did to her, and you unable to move because of what she did to you. Both of you slowly recover. At first, as she pulls herself onto your chest and kisses you, your tongue unable to provide much resistance to hers as she plays in your mouth, tasting the flavor of her own magic. She smiles softly and whispers, "Sorry," as her horn begins to glow again. As you feel her fiddling with her trousers, trying to undo them while she slowly moved around, positioning her head right above your slowly opening pants, and putting her purple plot so close to your face, her tail tickles your nose as it shivers. Her excitement made clearly visible. You struggle against your body's insistence, lying just where you are right now and not moving at all to shift your face closer to catch a glimpse of that what she'd only imagined before, and there it is. Her darker purple coat making a thin pink stripe even more obvious, and the matted hair around it sign pointing her arousal. As you move ever closer, licking your lips in anticipation, you feel a pressure release down below as Twilight figures out your pants, pulling them off and flinging them across the room, or they neatly fold before setting themselves down on the floor. Quickly undoing all your efforts, she starts her own version of your treatment by giving the end of your penis a testing lick. It's throbbing too, though yours isn't red and can't throw people around across the room. But she treats it the same as you feel her lips come into contact with your head, and her tone run down its surface as you feel her dive lower. Your head falling back away from her as your body decides enough is enough, and it's going to lie there and take it. Unable to see her work, you can only feel her inexperience, but as with everything she does, so very enthusiastic, tongue run down against you, up and down and around, flicking off your pre-cum as she tries her best to give you what you gave to her, but ultimately falling short. Her lack of experience combined with her lack of knowledge about human anatomy making for a decidedly unfulfilling experience. The thought of showing her how it's done inspired your entire body to motion as you grab her tail with your hands and tug on it until she stops. When she takes note, she looks back at you. The hairs around her mouth slick from a combination of saliva and pre. You tell her to get off your chest and flip over. She gets the idea and bounces off your chest, almost as well as Pinky could, landing on your back. The hairs of her tail spreading out across the bed as she opens her legs, presenting you to you. Crawling over to yourself, you pull your head up to her level with one arm, while using the other to guide your radiant erection into its natural habitat. Her well-lubricated hole accepting it without issue as her high-pitched gasp fills the room. Looking into her eyes, you see her willing you to continue. So you bring both of your arms up over your shoulder and rest on either side of her neck, and you begin the cycle of thrust and retreat. Every thrust accompanied with a quick ooh or ah, under Twilight's breath. Going slowly, you watch her face, her eyes rolling a little at the peak of every thrust, but her clearly hungry for more. So you increased your frequency, using your legs to move more quickly and with more force. The noise of flesh against flesh, slightly muffed by your light covering of hair, but audible all the same while she lies under you. Her head arching back as you hear her moans. When you're grunting and the more natural animalistic noise from down below aren't droning them out of your body screams, not wanting to move with such force, but never even for a moment considered stopping. Once again, you see her body start to tense up against you as her whole back arcs up and her shouts and screams drown out all else. The vibrations running through her body all the more obvious and sensual when they're pushing straight against your manhood. All the more potent by her vagina beginning to contract around it as she comes again. Her spasming knocking your arms, sending you dropping down onto her at the same time her contractions bring you to join in her orgasm. Your worldview collapsing down to that one event with this one pony until the sensation subsides and you find yourself lying with your head on her chest, looking up at her smiling face as your body starts to pull you closer towards the comfort of sleep once again. The last thing you see being Twilight's eyelids droop alongside yours as you drift off to a dreamless sleep. Oh, that was sweet. Alright, here's the hugging section. You finally open your eyes, the daylight streaming in through the open window, revealing the now mostly empty bed. Starting to properly awake, you sit up, wondering where Twilight has gone. Before you catch her voice on the air, she's singing something to herself. It sounds like the town's winter wrap-up song, which they perform every year for reasons best left to Mayor Mayor. Getting up, letting out an irritated tut as you realize you slept in your clothes. Apparently Twilight couldn't leave you cold and undressed. How she managed to dress you without waking you, you're not sure. Really tired? You tiredly talk through to Twilight's kitchen, hoping to Celestia she has coffee. Your prayers are answered as Twilight shifts a cup of just right temperature coffee through the air at you, waiting for you to pluck it from her aura. Good morning, sleepyhead, she teases, trying to turn it back around to a loaf of bread, slicing it with one wave of her horn, and toasting it with another. She's amazing sometimes. You think before taking a sip of your coffee. It's excellent, just bitter enough to force you awake, but not so bitter as to be distasteful. She's amazing a lot of the time. Watching her work as an interesting experience, the various ingredients flying through the air at her command. Eggs cracking open mid-flight, but only dumping their contents into the pan once they're ready, and butter scraping itself out of the tub. Until a few minutes later, the two of you are enjoying a perfectly executed fried egg on toast. She explains in between bites that Rarity taught her how to do it. She just follows the steps. You don't care. It's delicious, and you tell her as much. And enjoy the slight blush as she laughs. Unfortunately, it's over all too soon, and Twilight mentions that the storm is now clear, and you can go home whenever you want. Maybe you could stay, just for a while. Maybe the two of you could read. She just received a few books from Kennerlock's library that she's been dying to bury her nose in, apparently. Who Who could turn down an invitation like that from a mare like her? So you leave your shoes where they are, lying haphazardly around the door, as you walk through her private room, just in time to watch her horn flare and ignite the fireplace once again. Thinking back to what happened last time you were together by the fireplace. You feel a slight heat on your face and in your pants, but no time for that. No time for either though. As she passes you a book, tells you to sit down and then jump onto your knees, lying back into your arms. Start from the front. She whispers as she curls up on top of you. Herbal remedies and magical enhancement. You begin speaking slowly but precisely. You may not understand a great deal of the book, but anything you really don't get, Twilight is happy to explain to you. For example, you now know that poison joke is a popular recreational drug in many big cities, and that most of Zekora's natural remedies have a magical basis. More importantly, you know that Twilight is warm, and that she's quite content to lie there while you read to her, holding the book up in one hand and absent-mindedly running the other over the edges of her cutie mark, as she sighs in happiness. You wonder if this sort of scenario is something she fantasized about. She always did really love books. However, you don't have much time to reflect on that. There's reading to be done. She's happy you're learning more about her home. Everybody's winning. Several long hours later, you close the book and look down at the pony below you. She's snoozing, her head buried between your legs and her tail lying still beside her. Putting the book down, you slowly lie back, taking care not to wake her, and watch as the flickering light of the fire plays off of her body and hair. Who could have known such an unfortunate storm could have actually brought you together? Maybe one day soon you can stop checking out all the books you find interesting and simply put them back on the shelf on a night before climbing into bed next to her. Imagine the smile on her face as she asked you what she thought, and the enthusiasm in her voice as she gives her opinion afterwards. You might have lost that naive enthusiasm long ago, your more cynical mind getting in the way. But when you lie with her, talking long into the night, you can catch some of her reflected excitement and get back just a little of what you no longer have. You think it's beautiful. You think she's beautiful. The only problem is that nobody believes you when you say the reason you're so tired is because the two of you were talking about ancient equestrian politics. Oh, that was nice. Not only a good plot fic, but it's also a good romance fic too. Alright, comment time. Alright, this nameless commenter said it was awesome. Lolliger Rolfler. Huh? No, this one was really nice. The sexy time not being overly dramatic and the romance part not being overly sweet, but cute nonetheless. I must say I'm a sucker for romance, so good job. Yeah, I'm a sucker for romance too. Came here because Twilight is my favorite pony. Not expecting much, but willing to give it a chance. I'm glad I did. Nice fic. That's Halcyon Android. Tunnel Spark. Grin Squeak. Absolutely lovely. Twi is my favorite pony. She is the best in my book. And yes, this sounds like something I'd do with her. Heartwarming. Yocal. I just realized that you're one sneaky writer. You really did not give us a choice, really, and for that I commend your awesome sneakiness. For one, if I took out the headers in both sections and read it straight. Well, shoot, it's an entire story. Stealth Brony. Aw, love the ending. So cute. Me or Brony. I love that I could choose. I love that I can choose the ending. More writers need to do that. Alright, here's 2 comments from Diggity Slice. You jump in, grab on the nearest thing and hold it close, only noticing after a few seconds it was hugging back. Twilight teleported behind you and you were distracted. That line made me squeal like nobody's business. And then I read the rest of it. And now I can think straight from the squeegasm I just had. Seriously, I've read a lot of stories, but this one is so sweet that it's almost profound. No, not almost. It is profound. Excellent. Excellent job. Swiper the Fox. I'll go with D, make a marriage proposal. Huh. I already said Son of the North. Alright, here's 2 from BBB. His response from Swiper the Fox. No, that might be the option for next time though. I imagine if there is a next time. And then the other one from Son of the North. Alright, here's a alright, and here's this this link on there. That's all I have to say to that, sir and or ma'am. I bid you a kind day, sir and or ma'am. I'm still unpredictable on how I'm going to act. I don't know, it must be an image of Twilight raping somebody. I don't know. Sonic Brony 66. Second cough effect that hasn't made me laugh like a madman. And yes, that is a good thing. Karak. Congratulations on breaking the 4th wall. You feel like Pinky now, don't you? Striker Blue gave a GIF or GIF, whatever, of a black cat sharpening its nails with the nail file. The cat looks like my mom's cat Chevy, but this cat has green eyes. She has yellow. Oak Song. Yours isn't red and can't throw people across the room. Oh my god, that one totally killed me. I love Portal's O0. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want you assure yourself, before climbing next to the bed. Son of the North, it sent a smiley face, like winking and licking his lips. And BBB, it pretty much has an image of Twilight hiding in some sort of bucket and saying no. Vladimir Zarkov, freaking awesome. I love how you threw in the extra few jokes and made that much better. 10 out of 10. Well, that was Twilight's second slumber party. Actually, this is actually like this, along with the rarity waifu fic, is actually probably his best. So, and now I only have one more sword to go, and that's Fluttering Hearts, which is the Fluttershy waifu fic. So anyways, I'm Gunnar Stauffer, Game Violence 211, signing